Well, let's now take a look at all the market actions from the week gone by and see what's likely to move markets on Monday. Wall Street suffered a broad sell-off on Friday as investors grapple with weak economic data and persistent inflation concerns, prompting a flight to safer assets. The Dow Jones Industrial Average tumbled over 1%. The S&P 500 slid 1.71%, while the Nasdaq Composite dropped 2.2%. Fresh economic reports fueled concerns about a slowing U.S. economy, with the University of Michigan Consumer Sentiment Index falling sharply in February. Now, that heightened inflation worries amid potential new tariffs. Meanwhile, existing home sales fell more than expected, and the U.S. services PMI dipped into contraction territory, intensifying investor caution. Asian markets ended the week on a mixed note, with Hong Kong leading regional gains. The Hang Seng Index surged 3.76% to its highest level since February 2022, driven by a 14.7% jump in Alibaba shares following strong earnings. The Hang Seng Tech Index climbed 6.15%. China's CSI 300 gained 1.26%. Inflation in Japan rose to 4% in January, with core inflation surpassing expectations at 3.2%. South Korea's Kospi closed flat, while Indian markets continued to underperform. Oil prices fell sharply on Friday, weighed down by easing geopolitical risks and rising U.S. crude stockpiles. Brent crude dropped $2.05 or 2.68% to $74.43 per barrel, while U.S. oil fell $2.08 or 2.87% to $70.40. Investor sentiment was dampened by an uptick in U.S. crude stockpiles and reports of record-high oil output from Kazakhstan, despite damage to its export routes. However, potential supply disruptions due to a Ukrainian drone attack on Russian oil infra provided some price support. Gold prices eased from record highs on Friday as investors booked profits though the metal remained on track for an 8th consecutive weekly gain. Spot gold edged down after hitting an all-time high on Thursday. Experts say safe haven demand remains strong and amid inflationary pressures and geopolitical uncertainty, with experts noting continued buying from central banks. Looking ahead, investors will focus on fresh economic data, including Fed policy signals, geopolitical developments, particularly in Ukraine, and U.S.-China trade ties. All this will also be closely monitored.